Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Live Strong podcast. If you are new here, my name is Olivia, and I am the founder, head coach, business owner, all the things of Live Strong, which is a personal training studio in Newcastle, New South Wales. Now, this podcast, we do updates every single week, and it's a little bit about living your healthiest, best life, but also with a little bit of a mixture of chaos from my own. So let's get into it. Boom, 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 boom. Filming this on a Saturday today, team. Recording, editing, uploading in one day. Let's be real, I don't actually edit these things. Like, the editing process is quick. The uploading process is slow. Like, editing things on YouTube, uploading things on YouTube is honestly a lengthy and timely process. And sometimes you think it's uploaded and then next minute you're like, oh, no, it's not even up there and it's cancelled and I've already deleted the video and now it's all over. So, that's honestly life sometimes. But yeah, a bit different. Saturday video today. Had a bit of a busy week. Unexpectedly busy, let's say. Just, normal business things. I think I heard this somewhere and I always relate to it, is that running a business is just a lot of problem solving. There's all the normal things of whatever your business is and having the actions to run it and the operations and whatnot. But then a big chunk of every day is problem solving to some sort of way. So there was a lot of problem solving that had to happen this week, towards the end of this week. So we've been doing that, still doing that today. I feel like sometimes I'm already lost the plot and we're 2 minutes in, but I think sometimes I'm too open on this podcast in the sense that I start whinging about things, or I feel like you might think that I'm whinging, but I'm not whinging. I'm just telling you guys real life stories because we keep it real here. I keep it real in all aspects of my life. I feel like I'm a very relatable, real person. You know how some people just you're not telling me the truth, or they're a bit fake. I hope I don't come across like that, because I definitely feel like I don't, because sometimes I think about the shit that I say on this and I'm like, people are gonna think that I've had a really bad week, and I'm like, my week wasn't that bad. I've just really been emotional about something on there today. So I don't know how I got into that, but moral of the story is problem solving this week. All is well and good. If you're watching this on YouTube, you might be able to see I've got my laptop, and when I've got my laptop, that means that I've been organized for the episode. Yay for Olivia. Today we're actually going to be talking about a really good topic that is very helpful for everyone in their health and fitness journey, and it is balance a myth? That's the title of today's episode. And we're going to be talking about balance in terms of balancing your health and fitness goals and your social life and your family life and, the push and pull of all the things. So we're going to get into that in a second, but let's start with a little week recap. So my low for this week, let's start with my high. My high for this week is that my sister and her partner got engaged. Woo! Big love slay, which was super exciting. Everyone was like, did you know? Not really. I sort of, but didn't know it was happening last week. So it was super exciting for everyone. They are very different to me and Nathan in the sense that me and Nathan are larger than life celebrations. It's all about us. We want you to have to celebrate with us. That was our vibe. We did the big engagement party, the 3-day wedding, all the things. You saw the content, you know what happened. Where they are very different. So, they're celebrating in their own way at the moment, seeing friends and family, but all in low-key things. And everyone's like, when you're getting married, and, they'll deal with that in the future. That's a them problem. But for the right now, the pair of them are so happy, and that just makes my heart so happy. They've been together for 6 years or something, 6 or 7 years. So a long time. Emma's fiance now, Max, I actually knew him when he was a kid because his stepsister was one of my bridesmaids, so one of my bestest friends forever. So Small world, sort of not how they like got together, but like they sort of knew each other from that. So anyway, it's all a bit of a funny situation because now me and Michaela are like related. The first thing she messaged me after they got engaged was like, I think this means we're officially family now. I was like, I think it does mean that, which is so funny. But yeah, so that was the high, big high. We had family dinner, which was really nice last week. For that, blah, blah, blah. Love, you know. My negative is that my beautiful husband has been on a bucks the past few days. So I've been home alone, like a little sad sap. And guys, I'm honestly the biggest sook. Like, the biggest sook. I just hate being home alone. And I don't want to say I empathize. That's not the right word. I guess respect. I respect those who live alone when I'm alone and realize that I'm such a sook. And I know that people live alone and they love that. Like, they flourish in that environment, when I'm just so used to not like sleeping alone or having someone at home when I'm like having downtime at night, that I really don't enjoy that. Which is like, me and Nathan have been together for nearly 10 years. So like, and obviously previous to that, I was 17. So I was like a child at home. So like, I've never had that alone time, which, you know, maybe in reflection is maybe an issue I have. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not going to get a divorce over it, but next minute I get divorced, I'm like, I need to learn to be alone. No, but it's made me appreciate, I think, people who have a little bit more independence and aren't so dependent on people, because I'm like I literally nearly went to Emma and Max's house the other night, like to sleep on their lounge. I seriously contemplated it, and then I was like, Olivia, because they live really close, so I could have just walked it. And I was like, no, suck it up. But anyway, he's been waiting, so that's been a boo-boo. But, so I've had really bad sleep, guys. Like, I've had like 4 hours of sleep because I just could not sleep. Anyway, he's about to be home shortly, and I have survived. It was okay, but fuck, I'm a sook. I've always been a sook though. Like, even when I was younger, like I would make Tracy sleep with me probably at an older age than most children do. Like, I'm in primary school, like maybe even like year 5, year 6. I'm like, Mum, come sleep with me now, because I don't know. I just think the boogeyman's there, and I don't know. Again, not an independent chick, obviously. Anyway, moral of the story is, guys, that's the high, that's the low, but it's been a good week all in all. I do have a recommendation this week, again, organised, and it is the new season of Love Island Australia. I am a very, very big reality TV girl. It's like my favourite type of shows to watch. So I've watched nearly all seasons of Love Island, UK, USA, Oz. This Oz season, I actually quite enjoy. Sometimes, some of the seasons are shit. Especially some of the Oz seasons are like, oh, like, not it. Like the season that like Anna and Matt were on, if you know them, like the guy that married Tammy Hembrow, Matt, whatever his last name is, like that season was terrible. Those two, like some people made like really good careers out of it, and you know, not that those people are terrible, but like some of the seasons have been terrible. This season, so far, so good. Rating it. The last season of Love Island Australia was also really good, and some of those people are still like in my social media following, so that means I keep up to date. Anyway, you should watch it. There's only like 8 episodes out or something, so you can still catch up, because the episodes drop like every night, which makes it really hard to catch up on if you don't start when it starts. But I know a lot of people just watch it on TikTok because all of the main clips come up, but it's a good watch. So that's my recommendation for this week. Slay. Let's get into today's topic though, team, because we're talking about balance, like I just said, and it's something that every single person deals with, right? We all want balance in our lifestyle, and it's probably one of the most, I guess, talked about concepts in terms of like having goals and maintaining results. And a lot of people cannot find this quote unquote balance. So we want to know, is balance a myth? So you all know the feeling of like trying to eat well, train well, stay on top of your goals, tick all the boxes, but like you're also wanting to go out with friends, you have celebrations on, maybe you're a mom and you've got kids' birthdays or whatever the things are, or maybe you're going on a holiday and all these sorts of things. We all know that when we have that sort of push and that sort of pull of different components of our lives, and we want to get the progress, we want to live our life normally, and sometimes it just feels impossible. And that's why a lot of people can go one and two ways. They either go really strict, they just cannot include any quote unquote fun into their life, or they go, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna enjoy myself and give up on my goals, right? So this is why we're talking about this. I'm going to unpack what balance actually means, why it's hard to do it, and why it's worth actually doing. And we're never going to be perfect, and that's all right. So I'm going to share some tips and whatnot, but let's talk about what actually balance is, because maybe you've never thought about balance, but hopefully you maybe have, because I think it's something that everyone should think about, is having balance in their life. So balance doesn't mean doing everything perfectly or equally, right? So it doesn't mean that everything in our life is like a 50-50 split, like 50% effort for the gym and 50% of our life is social life, right? Real balance is about alignment, and that's like the perfect word to describe this. So making sure that your actions match your priorities, and that your health, your gym, your happiness, your social life, they all complement each other. So they all work in towards each other, and they're not competing with each other. So we don't want one thing to be dominating everywhere else. We want them all to sort of be having a helping hand in all of the different pools, right? So in order to know how they're going to help each other out and how they're going to complement each other and how they're going to align with each other, it's all about knowing when to push and when to pull back on certain things. And this is when I use the analogy sometimes of like turning the dial up. Like sometimes when we're talking about our nutrition, we just turn the dial up on focusing on nutrition. Like intensity's turned up, and we can easily turn that intensity down when we need to, and that sometimes happens. So balance in terms of like health in the gym and fitness and all that sort of stuff. Maybe it means that your goal is to train 4 to 5 times a week, but knowing that missing one of those sessions, you don't have to align guilt with it. Or being mindful of your nutrition, but still enjoying a meal out. Or setting goals, but remembering that they're part of your life and they're not your whole life. Which is something that I love that. Like your goal is part of your life. It doesn't control every single thing of your life. Okay, so now that we have a bit of an understanding of what balance means, let's talk about why balance is so hard. And it's something that a lot of people feel like they can't attain, because we live in a world of extremes, right? So we're told things like go all in, or never miss a Monday, or earn your weekends, or earn that meal, or whatever the thing is. But we're also told on the flip side, love yourself, listen to your body, don't restrict. Like you're told both worlds, right? And they obviously clash. Like we can't not restrict but then have to earn a meal, right? Like how can I do that? So it leaves us constantly feeling like we're doing something wrong no matter what we're doing, right? And that's why people give up, or they go super strict, like I said before. So a few key things that I think I talk about fairly often to our clients and during the challenges as well. And obviously this is another conversation that's being brought up because of the current challenge we're doing at the gym. And the first reason why a lot of people find it hard is that they have that all or nothing approach, that all or nothing thinking, which I talked about one of the recent podcasts, I can't remember what one, where we had that swinging approach from being super strict to completely off track, and not knowing that there's a phase in the middle where we can enjoy things and we can work hard and then enjoy something, or we can have a huge social weekend, but then we can also still nourish our body as well. Another reason is comparison, which literally is horrendous. We compare our life to someone else's life, and like obviously social media leads to this so much. And things like day in the lives and things like, day on a plate, people share that, or what they're doing the weekend, or doing the 4 a.m. wake up sunrises every day, or whatever it is, and we compare that. But people, like, you've got to remember, guys, people only show the shit on social media that they want to show. And even people who are raw and real on Instagram, like the people who do show maybe things that may be uncomfortable, stuff like that, they're still only choosing to show certain things. Like, everyone has things that they don't share on social media, and that could be as big as them, faking that they've gone for a run, which is like really common. People go and do like videos of them running, and they literally just go for like a 1 minute sprint and like, I've done this run, which is funny. Or two, like people showing a day in the life and then missing out that they actually had a block of chocolate that day. Well, I guess that is a big thing, because, that's obviously showing really negative traits. Not the chocolate, but the shame that they're putting on them eating the chocolate, which there is no shame. They should have just included the chocolate in their day of eating that they've shared. And, then they're giving everyone a realistic approach. But people are then comparing to these people who aren't real. The other thing we're comparing, which I've got a bit off topic here, is Photoshop, guys. I do not think you understand how common Photoshop is. Like, insane. And I used to be really naive to this as well. But yeah, like, there's nothing wrong with Photoshopping your photos if that's what you want to do. Like, if that makes you feel confident and you want to share a photo, but you want to change something about yourself, honestly, go off this. You do what you want to do. That is so fine. But I think the issue is that a lot of people maybe don't understand that people Photoshop their photos as much as they do. And then they're seeing someone going out, eating, drinking, living their best life. They're like, oh, I don't even train, blah, 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 all this stuff. And then they look like a certain image. Then we've got another person comparing to that person. They're like, well, I'm training my ass off. I'm eating so well. And, I feel like, I could never eat and drink and do what you do because, I will never look like you. But this person is probably, like I said, not probably, but there's people that do this. That's what I'm saying. They're photoshopping their photos. These days, every second person is on Ozempic. There's so many reasons why you can't compare yourself to someone else, because you have no idea what they're doing. Plain and simple. Like, it's actually scary. Like, not that people do the things that people are comparing to other people who are doing the things and they don't know that they're doing certain things, and then it's so unrealistic. Anyway, that's like I should do like a whole video. I think that just people are so naive to it. Not because they're stupid, because it's not shared, but fuck, guys, it's a crazy world out there. I literally, like, people do the craziest shit to their body. And as someone who's like a very natural gal, well, like, I get my Botox, but like, besides my Botox, look, no one's really natural. Like, I get my eyebrows done, my hair done, like, I had braces that mean I'm not natural, but honestly, I'm very natural. And I don't edit my photos. Maybe sometimes I'll increase the brightness on it, but I'm not doing much. But I still get stuck in that loop of comparing to other people, even though I know what people do. Anyway, that was number 2. I've fully gone off topic there. Number 3, and we're talking about why balance feels so hard. In case you forgot, is because lack of clarity and priority. So if you don't know what truly matters right now, so what is your priority? Your career, your family, training, whatever, your health, it's impossible to balance them all. One side story on this. So we're in the challenge right now with the gym, and unfortunately, when we do these challenges, and the challenges, I've gone off topic again, but we try and do them as personal as we possibly can. But I think people sometimes don't understand that can only be so personal when we've got, 70 people and everyone's different. So when we're giving information out, I'm trying to be as direct, and especially this challenge, direct to people's goals and what their outcomes are and stuff like that. But everyone is different. So during the challenges, people have issues. Like, we've had, unfortunately, a few different people have, let's say, family issues over this challenge. And they might be people who are absolutely crushing the challenge and doing so well. And then they might have to shift their priorities for a week because, they have to put their family first. And it's really hard sometimes for people to change that priority in their life. And I've tried to explain this to these people, which I actually think they've taken on board really well, and they're probably listening to this podcast. So nothing negative to you out there, but I think this is a really good learning lesson to a lot of people, because our priorities sometimes do shift, and that is a flex of your balancing card, because sometimes when your family needs you, going to the gym is like the least important thing on our list. Like, making sure you hit your macros, who cares? Like, when real shit happens in your life, who cares if you're having enough protein on that day, But like, maybe in a month's time or a week's time, or depending on the severity, depending on your circumstance, maybe your priority then may have to be your health, because we know that your health impacts your actual health, like living as a human, but your mental health and all of these sorts of things. It helps your injuries and whatever you're dealing with. So if we then completely neglect these things forever, it's not going to happen. So it's important to know where our priorities lie at different times, and they shift all the time, and that's fine. Guilt. We feel guilty for resting, eating out, missing sessions, all those sorts of things, even though those things are a part of balance. And the last thing is fear of slowing down. So especially because there's all of this like grinding mentality out there these days, but many of us believe that rest or moderation means losing progress, when in reality, it allows us to have longevity. So that's why balancing our life is hard, because of a lot of different reasons, but they're the main ones. So why should we be finding this balance if I'm raving on about all these reasons why it's hard and all this sort of shit? So, because this is a really good line. So listen to this one, people. Because I've started it wrong. Listen to this one, people. Because discipline without joy leads to burnout, and freedom without structure leads to frustration. Isn't that a good one? Should we say it again? Because discipline without joy leads to burnout, and freedom without structure leads to frustration. And it's so true. Like, if you want one or the other, that push or pull, it all ends up being a fucking shit show. So balance helps you stay consistent long term, not just for 8 weeks, but forever. Avoid that binge restriction or burnout cycle. Maintain healthy relationships and positive mindset. Actually enjoy your lifestyle instead of resenting it. True success in fitness isn't about perfection. It's about sustainability. And if you live a lifestyle you love and make progress, that's balance. And that's why we used to call our challenges the lifestyle transformation, because that's really what I've been trying to implement in my clients, is living that healthy lifestyle forever, because that is a flex. Like, it is a flex to be able to do it all, essentially. Like, to be able to train hard, go out and party within reason. Obviously, all of this is within reason. Like, fuel your body, but enjoy meals out, enjoy your sleep in, know when you need to get up early. Like, that is a flex in itself. And just to toot my own horn here, I'm very proud of myself that I have found that in my life, because I wasn't always here. In COVID, in 2020, I lost a lot of weight, not doing anything stupid. I really just focused on, 2020 was weirdly a really good year for me. Bizarre, I know. But I really focused on my nutrition. That was when I started working with Georgia Wen. And I lost a lot of weight that I'd put on over being like 18, 19 and drinking and, changing my habits and stuff. But But in that period of like 2020, 2021, let's say, even though I did lose a lot of weight and I was actually being a lot healthier with my choices and I was starting to find balance, I was still missing components in my life that were allowing me to have true balance. So I'd started stepping in the right direction, which a lot of my clients do, let's say right now in their challenge, a lot of positive direction, but then I just couldn't quite nail the balance. And it's taken years and I've got there where now I can do it all. And I know when to flex my different parts of my goals, you know, when I'm in a deficit, when I'm in a surplus, when I'm trying to do whatever I'm trying to do with my body. But it bloody takes time, guys. So to get there right, we need to have a few mental swaps. Like we need to know that it's less about doing more and more about doing things differently. Like we don't need to be doing more things. We don't need to incorporate anything else. We just need to learn how to do the things that we're doing right now, but differently. So a few things I guess to think about, and maybe as a little bit of a takeaway as well, is to swap perfection for consistency. So you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present and consistent. So, you know, if you miss a gym session, that's fine. Just show up to the next day or show up the next week. Or if you miss a meal, again, get back on track. Or not even if you miss a meal. If you go out for a meal, that's fine. But like, you know, the next day, you're just back on track. It's not the end of the world. Swap guilty for awareness. So enjoy the social event, the meal, the rest day, whatever it is, and just return to your routine after. Easier said than done, again, but being aware, which a lot of the time when we're doing these challenges and people are eating out and stuff, I'm always like, enjoy yourself. Just think about what you're putting in your body. And it doesn't mean don't have it, but when we look at our meal, am I having protein? It doesn't mean it has to be the best source of protein in the world, but, you know, rather than having a pasta with no protein, have a pasta with protein, like a small little swap like that. So having awareness. Number 3, swap restriction for mindfulness. So you don't need to cut out everything. You just need to be aware of your choices and intention with them. Swap comparison for individuality. So your version of that balance will look different to someone else's, and that's okay. And that has to be in line with your priorities as well. And swap short-term results for long-term habits, which honestly is so true, because it's not about what you can do in 8 weeks. It's about what you can do forever, because you, like, people think this is like not real life, but your health is forever. Like, your health literally is forever. Like, you need it till the day you die. So we need to prioritize it every single day, but we can't not enjoy our life as well, right? So it's still that push and pull. So now that we sort of know what balance is, we sort of have an understanding of why it's hard and maybe how we need to think about it a little bit differently. Here's my little 5 tips on how to put balance into action, or start to put balance into action into your life. And maybe even just a few of those mental notes might have helped as well, which hopefully they did. But the first one is define your non-negotiables. So you need to know what's actually important to you, both in and out of the gym. Maybe, examples, training 4 times a week, family dinner on a Sunday, one night out with friends, or, you know, date night with your partner, or whatever it is. Once you know your non-negotiables, balance becomes about protecting them and not juggling them. So, you know, if we want to train 4 times a week, which for a lot of people is very realistic, you can still train 4 times a week, and, you know, back to me, I train quote unquote 4 times a week all the time. It sort of changes sometimes, but generally, I would say in 3 years, I've missed training 4 times a week, like one handful of times. Like that's how often. Now, this is because of a few reasons. Because it's because I prioritize my training. Like, if I'm going away for the weekend, I'll make sure I get my 4 sessions in. If I'm going away for the week, if I'm going away for a whole week, it will sort of depend. I might miss a session or 2 that week, but I'll try get in as many as I can. But it may go away for like, you know, even when we went on that honeymoon, we still trained, not to punish ourselves, because it made us feel good. When you're like eating and drinking, and I just feel sluggish if I don't do anything in the morning. So we would only train maybe 2 or 3 times, but I still prioritized it. So like, even if I'm having a big weekend, even if it's my birthday week, it's whatever. Even if it was my wedding, I still trained. Like, just because that makes me feel good, it's a habit. It's just fly annoying me. I think I got it. Non-negotiable. But figure out what your non-negotiables are and incorporate them every single week. And maybe that is enjoying Saturday night with your friends or whatever it is. But maybe your non-negotiable is also having your food prep for the week. Like, these are the things, right? Plan your week intentionally. Look at your calendar. Plan your workouts, rest days, social events, and recovery. Instead of hopping into, hoping it all fits. Structure gives you freedom because it removes decision fatigue, and it removes those limbo land windows in your week. That I cannot say that enough. To plan your week, plan your groceries, plan when you're eating, plan when you're training, plan when you're sleeping. Get your shit organized, people. Like, I do that. Aim for that 80% of the time, on track, on your goals, living a healthy lifestyle, and that 20% of flexibility. The 80-20 rule, we've heard of it before. It's really true. And it can be 80-20. It can be 80-20 in everything. It could be 80-20 with just one meal. Like, if 80% of your meal is whole food, nourishing, but then 20% is not, fabulous. 80% of your day living to fuel yourself, be healthy, whatnot. 20% just YOLOing life, that's fine. Redefine off track, another good one here. Missing a workout, eating something unplanned doesn't mean failure. It means life happens. Which is so true. Like, do I not say that? Life happens, shit happens, move on, people. Progress isn't about how quick you return to your routine. Progress is about how quickly you return to your routine, not how perfect you stick with it. And one of my big tips for people when they're like trying to structure their weekend with, like, let's say they've got an event on Saturday night, but this sort of incorporates a lot of the things of here. But let's say they've got a big Saturday night event, an engagement party. Let's say we're in this theme of engaging people's. So they want to enjoy that event. I would say to them, go off, sis. It's your best friend's engagement party. Drink, eat, have a late night, have fun. This night only happens once. Literally live your best life. Sorry, just killing another animal in my house. Not an animal, a fly. Enjoy. But, right, how can we make this situation as in line with your goals and for you to prioritize the right things? Make sure before the event, you eat normal foods. Nourish your body so you're not starving yourself afternoon. Have protein in your meals. What I would also do is have some yummy snacky poodles at your house to have when you come home, when you've got those munchies. I'm a big person on getting like chicken nuggets or something from the freezer section, have them in my freezer, put them in the air fryer for when I get home. You might be thinking, well, Olivia, I may as well just get like Macca's. Maybe you should, but generally it's always going to be healthier if you have it at home. It's always going to be healthier. So have something at home for when you're hungover. Sorry, not when you're hungover. When you're pissed, rocking up home, have something you can chuck in the air fryer, chuck in the oven, or a packet of chips, and you can you maybe even get some chips that are lower in calories or whatever it is when you get home. Okay, have breakfast organized for the morning. Again, if you want to have something yummy for your breakfast, buy some hash browns, buy an already pre-made coffee, iced coffee, whatever. Have it at home, because when you're hungover and you're just like, oh fuck, give me 4 bacon and egg McMuffins, like, you're probably going to make a worse decision. So trying to get back on track as possible and doing things within your control. You're controlling those circumstances because you've already pre-planned them. Yay! And my last one is check in with yourself. Check in. That's going to help with you planning your week. Check in with how your last week went. Check in with how this week's going to go. And if you're feeling overworked and stressed and tired and out of line with your goals, sometimes you just need to sit with yourself and actually just realign yourself and set your priorities again, set a plan again, plan your week, blah, 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 so that you're on track. And Like, those 5 steps are very Olivia coded because that's literally what I do, guys. Like, on a Sunday, I'll plan my week out. I'm very, like, on routine. Like, every day I have a to-do list. Even on the weekend, I know I'm an actual crazy person, but, like, I know the things I have to do on the weekend to get my week organized. Like, and if I don't do them, I'm not organized for the week. And then I'm not going to feel at my best self, and I'm not going to prioritize myself. And it doesn't mean that, like, I don't have a sleep in. It doesn't mean that I don't have a nap during the week when I'm fucking exhausted. And or tonight, like, I'm going out for dinner and drinks. I'm going to see Nitro Circus. Slay. Shit, I'm going to enjoy myself. Next weekend, I've got Friendsmas. And, like, you best believe at Bottomless Brunch, I am going to have as many cocktails as they're going to serve me in those 2 hours of Bottomless Brunch. Am I still, during the week, going to track my... Oh, I'm not tracking my food, but, you know, eat, nourish, sleep, get my sessions in, get my steps in, get my sleep in. Am I going to have food organized for Sunday morning when me and Nathan wake up hungover? Damn straight I will, because I will not be ordering any Uber Eats to my house. No, because I'll be organized. So, closing. Is balance a myth? No, I don't think balance is a myth. I think it's real. I think everyone can achieve it. I think that it's not like a destination. Balance is a destination. It's a moving target. You sort of there, maybe you lose it a bit. You've got to refine it. You've got to realign yourself with what balance is to you in those different times of your life. But it's not a myth, but it is a work in progress for a lot of people. It's something that constantly shifts depending on your season of life, your goals, and your energy. Some weeks, balance might mean training hard and eating clean. Others might mean rest, connection, and giving yourself space. That was romantic, wasn't it? The point isn't to find the perfect balance, it's to keep recalibrating so your lifestyle feels good and supports your goals. So, remembering points here. You can work hard and have fun. You can push your limits and you can rest. And you can chase goals and enjoy your life. That's not failure. That's real sustainable balance. So, in all, guys, I hope that this episode is well listened in your ears and on your screens. I'm very close to not uploading on YouTube. I know, just because not many people watch the YouTubes, more people listen to it. But I know some of my best friends watch it. So to the girls watching at home, thank you, but me maybe the only one. So that's why I don't put any effort into how I look in it anymore, because who cares? But do you know what? This is just a little after dinner mint, as the girls on Shameless say. I'm thinking about starting to do weekly vlogs on YouTube. I probably won't, but like, I'm about to buy a really good camera. This is like a minor flex there. Good camera. Because I want to take it away. And I'm like, should I try do like mini videos when I'm away so I could put together a mini holiday vlog? You know what? I've always thought like YouTube life was for me. And I think like because I don't care what I look like online. I don't care talking online. And you know what? That wasn't always the case. I used to really care. And I used to think about all the people that watch random things. But then I'm like, who cares? I think that just comes with my job. And also it's like a really relatable thing. Again, me being real. Oh, I'm so real, guys. But anyway, you should let me know. Do you think I should do weekly vlogs? Like, I think it's because I've gone back into my era of watching YouTube again. Like, I used to be a big YouTube girl in the days of like Shani Grimman, Michael Finch, like Jeffree Star, like all those people back in, I don't know when, 2018 or something. Like, I was heavy. Me and Emma, my sister, big YouTubers. Cardi Milan, Sammy Robinson, you know, all those people. But I've just got back into it, and I'm just like, I feel like I could make interesting vlogs. Not really, because my weeks are sort of similar, but when people do weekly vlogs, like they're only showing you little glimpses of their day. Like, I could just show you like me waking up at 4 a.m. and then going to the gym. I wouldn't really film in the gym. Like, I wouldn't film that much work stuff, but like maybe randomly sometimes. Anyway, I really need to go because I've got so much shit to do, and I actually think this is a long podcast and I didn't mean for it to be. So peace out, Brussels sprouts. Have a lovely weekend. Bye.